Number 26. What are the parametric equations for the curve given by the parameter t equals x minus 6 and the rectangular equation y equals 5x minus 33? Well, first, since it's asking for parametric equations, the values are going to have an x and y equation with a parameter of t, which represents time most often. So we're going to have two equations. They gave us the parameter, which is how we solve for the time, and the y, the rectangular equation, which means it has a y and the x involved. Now, noticing over here, again, it's equations of x of t and y of t. That's what our function is. So how do we do that? Well, we had 3 steps earlier in this year when we went over it. The first was you solved for the shared variable. Solve for a shared variable. So in this case, the variable that is shared is the x. So what I'll do is I'll come over here and I will say I'm going to use this first equation, t equals x minus 6. And if I solve for what is shared, that means I need to add 6 to get x by itself. And so now I know that t plus 6 equals x. X is my shared variable, and so that's why I solve for x. X equals t plus 6. Now we move on to our second step, and I probably need to slide, whoops, let's undo that. Let's slide this over to get more space. Second step, we substitute into the other equation. Substitute. And by the way, we have x equals t plus 6. We could actually eliminate this and this one. That's supposed to be a j. We got a typo there. That's supposed to be a j, so we eliminate that. Those are out. Substitute. So step 2. Let's substitute x into our rectangular equation. So I pull that down. It was y equals 5x minus 33. I want to substitute t plus 6 in, and so I'll have that y equals 5 times, instead of x, we're going to replace it with t plus 6, and then minus 33. The first step here is to distribute, and so I'll distribute the 5 here and there, and so I'll have y equals 5t plus 30, because 6 times 5 is 30, minus 33, and finally we'll reduce y equals, combine my like terms, 30 minus 33 is minus 3. So now I know I have t plus 6, which are f and h, but yet I have for the y equation 5t minus 3. And so the answer has to be f. Now, someone might be saying, wait, you said 3 steps. I did, and I forgot to write the third. The third step is to simplify after you substitute. Okay, so step 3 was once we started here. I substituted in the equation and then I simplified. Actually, simplifying would have been starting there. So that's how you do number 26. You could graph these and check by graphs just to make sure they're the same. First, they gave us, I told you that was a, this is when you have a y and an x, it's rectangular. You can graph it as a, you can graph it as a relation. And so I could type it in here, y equals 5x minus 33. And so now we see what the graph is supposed to look like. I can go over and graph these as parametric. So I'm going to go menu, graph entry, number 3, and choose this time parametric, and type in our equations, t plus 6 and 5t minus 3. When I press enter, it'll bold over that line because it's going to add another one exactly the same. You see how I bolded it like that? So we did, in fact, do it correctly.